Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another video. Many people have never experienced a healthy relationship. Now this is major. First though, let me shout out one of my supporters, longtime supporters, Jay Flex. And he had a IG reel where he was talking to the ladies. He said many of y'all do not appreciate a good man because you're so used to dealing with dysfunctional type of men. You had never had a healthy relationship. These type of women, that's why, they say women don't like a nice guy or a good man or something. They not used to dealing with them. Now I'm known for talking about the imprint, which is a psychological combination of the first three men that a woman will have sex with. And, that could have been bad. In fact, for a lot of women, it's bad. But that's what they used to. They get into a situation where they deal with guys who mistreat them, who abuse them, who dog them out. The relationship is totally dysfunctional. It's not an asset to either one of them. Well, at least not to the woman, right? So then when she meets a guy who's actually about something, who's doing something, oh, he's boring. I was like, what the heck? He's boring, even though he's stable, because he works a regular job or he has a business. He's doing something positive. Oh, he's boring. Seriously, you get some women like that. There's many women talk about abuse and everything, but if you present them with a man who won't abuse them, won't touch them, oh, he's boring. And notice I said, this ain't just going on to women. You get a lot of guys get in trouble because they used to dealing with some scandalous ass woman. You get a lot of them in trouble. The reason, and then they can have that like a good woman who's going to be an asset to them, who's going to be traditional, asset, low body count, all the stuff a lot of men say they want. They could probably meet that woman and, even have some attractiveness to her. But they used to dealing with that woman who is bringing drama, Because you know what? That's who the women were messing with at first. That's his imprint. Men have an imprint too. So he's used to dealing with some woman who probably cheated on him, who will degrade him and everything. He's used to dealing with dysfunctional ass women. So you got both sides dealing with dysfunctional people. And that's a big issue, especially if that's how they started out. Like no matter what somebody does for them, no matter how good the mate can be for them, they just want to deal. They only used to dealing with that's craziness. They only used to dealing with a mate who's going to argue with them, fight with them, lie to them, even steal from them. And then when they get that good person, that functional person, oh, that's too boring, And like I say, it's both men and women. Because I know some guys when I first started talking out, yeah, going on those women. I was like, no, a lot of guys out here chasing some dramatic ass women. I've seen that. It was like, well, hold up, dude. Like I know this guy, and he was from the upper middle class family. I could call the name. They could be looked up on Wikipedia and everything. But he was dealing with a woman who his friends and family called a succubus. they were like, wait, hold up. And I've personally known some guys, they dealing with some crazy ass woman. And it was like, oh, she had a fat ass though. But if you look at their background, that's what they used to dealing with. Because honestly, how we deal with relationships as we get older really starts when we're young. Heck, it can even come from the family. Like I'm known for talking about the imprints, but the imprints really start with the family. If a woman had a father who was absent in her life, or if he was around, he was on some crazy stuff, or he was abusive, guess who she goes for? And if a man had a mother who was neglectful, or she was on some crazy stuff, she was abusive herself, guess who he goes for? Because then the first mates that either one to look for from the time of childhood is someone similar to their opposite sex parent. And then That just makes it worse. That just makes it worse. So then it becomes a cycle, vicious cycle. Then even, seriously, there's been plenty of people, men and women, they will get that good person, that functional person, that person that is an asset to them. And they can't deal with, oh, they're boring. They're boring. Men and women both do that. Men and women both do that. You know? Shoot. Like some guy can say, well, I don't want to deal with gold diggers, but then that's who he dealt with at first, so he keeps going for them. Or some women say, well, I don't want to deal with that broke dude who's abusive, but they dealing with that guy from the get-go. They used to it. Their body's used to it. See, understand something. Every single relationship we have, every single, potentially sexual relationship that we have, it programs us. So it sets the tone for the next one. Only way you can get out, you got to consciously get out of it. And it'll be tough, because if you think about it, a good relationship should be stable. Yeah, it can have some excitement, but it shouldn't have any craziness. And yeah, you don't want to just sit around and just stare at each other, don't do anything. You still want to do some exciting things. But then you're not going to get the same drama, And see, let's just be real. And this is especially for women. You get some women, they actually do get tired of it. They more so than men. Because you get some men, I'm serious, I'm just got to call that out. They get tired of it. But then many men don't want to clean up the mess. So it's a badass cycle. And then you got some men, they still chasing that fine young thing and everything, because we don't think about it to the same extent. But then when they get burned, they was like, damn, what they gonna do? So it's a messed up thing. And it really, I'm gonna tell you what, yeah, I talk about relationships on here, particularly man gets woman. But a lot of the problems are on some mental health thing. And what I would say to men and women, both men and women, if you want a situation, if you constantly getting someone bad for you, you gotta look at yourself. Because the only thing all these bad people have in common is you. And then you gotta say, well, hold up. You got to learn how to appreciate someone who's functional, and the functional person ain't gonna bring drama like that. And they can still be just as fun, but they not gonna bring that drama. They gonna bring that dysfunction. Too many people used to it because they haven't been in a healthy relationship, And indeed, if you really think it's bad, don't hesitate to get some type of therapy, to talk to somebody, And then you got to consciously go in a different direction. Even when I talk about the imprint, it's not automatic. It's just a natural attraction, like a man or a woman to have to the imprint, just natural. But you still have a choice up here. Sometimes you just have to say, look, let me just go in another direction anyway. Let me just try. Because then what that does, it don't really break the imprint. The imprint pretty much stay with you. Let me be clear on that part. But you can still have a functional relationship with someone who is actually an asset to you. You just got to be conscious of it. People, you just got, you have to impose your will over your lower nature that's keeping you in bad situations. And I want y'all to really think about that. Really, really think about that, all right? Because at the end of the day, love is really a choice. Relationships are a choice. You have to just choose what's functional for you. Get off that, oh, I'm just going to follow biology. You're not a wild beast. You're a human being with divine will. Now, I want to see whose head that goes over. If it does, fine. Everybody else is going to understand. You have a choice. And sometimes you have to make a choice that's actually better for you in the long run. Just like you make a choice not to use drugs anymore, or alcohol, or something that can harm you. It's the same thing. You got to fight that nature. All right? So anyway, that's all I have for now. I want y'all to really think about what I talked about, all right? And I'll get back with y'all. Peace and blessings.